Good day, dear students. Since our long weekend vacation is already done, so let us now go back to our class discussion. So first, I will introduce myself. I am Glecy-Vil and I am one of your student interns in this subject, Let 3, which is the subject course description, survey of the Philippine literature, and English. So let us now proceed. Okay, hello there, Let 3 students. Next. Okay. Anyone from the class can guess kung unsa to ang topic karon nga discussion or karon nga meeting. Anyone? Yes? Literature. Another opinion. Okay, so it's all about the Philippine literature under the Spanish colonization. So, again, our topic for today is all about the literature of the Philippines under Spanish colonization. So, by the way, class, among the suggested literature in the course syllabus provided in the Google Classroom, so me with my co-student interns chooses at least two literature. So, daghan man to. So, nagpili lang mig tulo para among i-discuss sa inyo ha. O, ang akong napili is about Florante at Laura by Francisco Baltazar. So, kabalo ko nga, this story is na-discuss na ni siya during sa atong high school life. Even sa elementary, ano ni siya short overview. Pero dili siya nga same gyud sa high school nato, no? Sige, so let's now proceed. So first, before tamo kuan sa ato ang story, so ato sang ila-ilahon ang kinsa or kung kinsa unsa ang author's background sa story. Okay, so let's now. So, Francisco Baltazar or Francisco Balagtas was born on April 2, 1788 in Barrio Panginay, Bigaa, Bulacan. So, Francisco Balagtas A. de la Cruz, commonly known as Francisco Balagtas. Pero, he is also known for Francisco Baltazar. So, he was a prominent Filipino poet during the Spanish colonial period of the Philippines. So, he is widely considered one of the greatest Filipino literary laureates for his impact on Filipino literature. So, one of his famous collection will be our topic, which is the Florante at Laura. So, it regarded as his defining work. So, he is the youngest of the four children of Juan Balagtas, a blacksmith, and Juana de la Cruz. Let's now know deeper about Francisco Balagtas. Okay, so Francisco Balagtas won a number of awards and accolades for some of his pieces, such as Ama ng Balagtasan. He was even featured on the front of cover of a local magazine in recognition of his outstanding writing talent. So he graduated with a number of degrees including Crown Law, Humanities, and Philosophy. So Francisco Baltazar became a very well-known and highly regarded poet, not only because he had a gift for words, but also because he associated with individuals who helped him own his craft. So, likod sa iyahang mga na-achieve sa iyang life, so naay duha ka tao nga naka-impluwensya sa iyaha. So, kinsa man ni? So, ato ang ila-ilahon karon. So the two people that would influence Baltasar's development as a poet were: number one, Dr. Mariano Pilapil. So Dr. Mariano Pilapil is the one who helped Baltasar develop his writing style. Second one will be Jose de la Cruz. So Jose de la Cruz is one of the most famous poets from Tondo district of Manila. So challenge Baltazar to always produce quality work. So syempre, ah tungod ay duha ka tao, so si Francisco Balagdas or Baltazar mas na baid ang iyahang skills in literature or literary pieces. Okay, so I think nagkuan ako na doble na kog type. So let's now proceed to the characters of the story. So the characters, ako siyang gi-classified into two, which is the major and the minor characters. But first, I will discuss to you the major characters of the story. So, anyone nga makaguess kung si kinsa ang mga major characters? Sige daw. Sige, ayaw kaulog answer. Your answers are highly appreciated. Then take note that to those students nga mag-raise og hand, then mo answer even whether it is right or wrong, correct or incorrect, but still I will give some points. That's it. Okay, so the first major characters. Tang dang. Okay, so Florante. Yes. Of course no. Si Florante jud ang kuan major characters or isa gid siya sa major characters kay sa title pa lang gani daan makita na nimo. Okay, so Florante, he is the son of Doc Briseyo and Princess Floresca, so the main character of the song, and he is the Laura's love. Also, syempre ikaduha si Laura. So, si Laura, he is the daughter of King Lenciu and Florante's love. The third one will be Aladdin. So, Aladdin is a Muslim prince and soldier. So, he is a son of Sultan Ali Adab, also the man who saved Florante and Florida's love. Another one, Florida. So, the woman who saved Laura and the Aladdin's love. So, the second to the last one will be Count Adolfo. So, a traitor of the story, son of Count Celano, and very envious of Florante's achievement. So, sa ilaha palang characterization, identify na nimo kung kinsa ang antagonist o protagonist sa story. So, the last major characters will be Minandro. So, Florante's classmate and faithful best friend, Florante's right hand in the battle. Okay, so we're done in the major characters, so let's now move on to the minor characters. But first, let me ask you again. Who among you here can guess or can give the name of the minor characters of the story entitled Florante at Laura? Sige, kay maghatag kog points sa mo answer. Yes? Okay, very good. So let's now proceed. Okay, so the minor characters, first we have Doc Briseyo. So he is the father of Florante, Princess Florisca's husband, and King Lenciu's advisor. The second minor characters will be Princess Floresca. So he a mother of Florante and a wife of Doc Briseyo and the princess of Croton. The third minor characters we have King Lenciu. So King Lenciu is the king of Albania and the father of Laura. The next one we have Antinor. So Florante's reliable mentor while he was studying in Athens, Greece. So the next one will be Count Seleno. So, he is Count Adolphus' father, also from Albania. Let's now proceed. Next, we have General Maramolin, headed the Persian troops towards invading Albania. The next one, we have General Usmalik, a Persian general who wanted to invade Croton. Next one, we have Sultan Ali Adab, the king of Persia, the father of Aladdin, and who also desired Aladdin's love of his life, Flerida. The next one, we have Minalipo, so Florante's cousin who saved him for a vulture that almost snatched him from his cradle. The next one, we have King of Croton Kingdom, so Princess Florisca's father and the grandfather of Florante. Okay, we are done in the characters, which is classified into two, the major and the minor characters of the story. So let's now move on to the setting of the story. Sige, kinsay maka-guess na pod kung asa dapit ang setting sa story of Florante at Laura? Sige, anyone from the class? Gusto ko kanang uban na pod, di ko gusto kanang kuan balik-balik. Sige. Yes, very good. Okay, so the setting of the story happened in deserted forest in the kingdom of Albania. Sumuto no imong giingon nga anyong giingon nga sa Albania. So pero ha dili lang kay siya kay sa Albania, but napud siya sa nakuan siya sa Persia. Pero ang main gid nila is sa kingdom of Albania. Okay, so humata sa setting, humata sa characters, nanata sa conflict. Sige, kinsa na pud ang makahatag og opinion kung unsa ang conflict sa story? Anyone? Yes? Okay, very good. Man versus man. Sige, before ta na to ikuan, nganong kinsa na pud ang makahatag og explanation kung ngano man versus man ang conflict sa story? Sige. Yes. So feel na ko no kay kabalo na gid mo sa kuan sa story kay syempre naagi na mato ni sa high school. So ang kanila lang atong gibuhat karon is just a review kung unsa ang atong mga or kung unsa ato ang mga kuan na dumduman during our high school life. So, let us know kung anong man versus man. So, man versus man because this story is all about the challenges that faces of just to win the happiness. Okay, so inyong na-observe sa story. So, man versus man gid siya no between the two. I considered it as a family which is kuan kana ang ilahang ilugan is si Laura. So kay ang kani magudpod si Count Adolfo is nakaangay siya kang Laura. Nya kay si Count Adolfo kay syempre kwartahan tapos kuan kanang kuan pud og power ang iyahang family. So lawang gid siya pero ang sige buhat ni Florante wala gid siya ni give up. So bisag kuan na preso siya, grabe ihaging gi-face ang trials niya para lang sa iyang loved ones. So that is the main reason why is the story, the conflict is man versus man. So let's now move on. So the plot of the story. Let's now start to the exposition of the story. So in the Albanian forest, so the story begins deep within a dark, gloomy forest. So Florante, a duke of the kingdom of Albania is tied to a tree, lamenting the death of his father, Doc Briseyo. So he is driven mad by the thought that his beloved Princess Laura has fallen into the arms of his enemy Count Adolfo, the son of Count Seleno. So nearby, two starving lions keep watch and try to attack Florante. So he is saved just in time by Aladdin, a Muslim prince who happens to be at the forest at the same time. So, weak and bewildered, Florante faints. So the merciful soldier nurses Florante to health. So upon recovery, Florante is initially taken back by Aladdin, who he considers as an enemy due to his Islamic faith. So, kini si Florante, kuan, ang iyahang huna-huna nga, or nang nagduda siya ba, or murag ma-consider niya si Aladdin as enemy kay dili man sila same og tinuuhan. Kay si Aladdin is ang iyang tinuuhan is Islamic, while si Florante is Christian. So after a few explanations are made, however, Florante is grateful and begins to tell his story. So the rising action of the story. So the emissary of Khartoum came to Albania with a letter asking for help in saving Khartoum from the Persian invader headed by General Usmalik. Florante says that he and his father went to King Lencius to discuss how they could help Khartoum. So King Lencius appointed Florante to lead the army. So, what would be the climax of the story? Okay, so coming to the aid of Croton, Florante fought with the Persian general Usmalik for 5 hours. Imagine, 5 hours. So, finally slaying him in the end. So, he stayed in Croton for 5 months before returning to Albania to say Laura. So, he was surprised by the sight of a Persian flag waving atop the kingdom. So, he captured the palace and saved his father, the king, and Adolfo. So he also saved Laura from being beheaded from the hands of an emir. So he was declared defender of Albania for his bravery, deepening Adolfo's envy and hatred. Okay, so kung naay rising action, so naapoy falling action sa plot sa atong story. So the following action of the story is that Florante and Laura is the tale of the love and determination of Doc Florante and the Princess Laura of Albania whilst they are pursued by the Count Adolfo. So that would be the following action. Next we have the resolution or the denouement of the story. So Florante and Laura returned to Albania to rule as king and queen. Aladdin and Florida also returned to Persia, where Aladdin became the new sultan as his father died of depression because Florida had left him. So Aladdin and Florida are then baptized into the Catholic faith, and the two kingdoms live in harmony and peace. So, ano to no? Because of love ni Aladdin kay Florida, so nagpa-convert siya or nagpa-baptize siya into Catholic faith. Which is Aladdin is Islamic man siya. So let's now proceed. Okay, so for you, what would be the moral lesson of the story? Sige. Mangutan ako sa inyo. Unsa ang moral lesson sa story about Florante at Laura? Yes. You get it. Remember ha, naghahatag ko points, din nag-take note ko sa mga nag-answer. sa mga questions nga akong i-ask sa inyo ha. Then I will give some points to those students nga mo answer. So the moral lesson in that story by Francisco Balagtas is that love conquers all. Char, love conquers all daw. So it could give you the courage to move on and fight your way just to see your loved one. And aside from that, it teaches the students about the great faith of the characters in God and in their principles. So sa inyong napansin sa story, kaning moral lesson nga nadri is naagid siya. Tinuod gid siya, dili lang kay just an imagination bitaw. Nahitabo gid siya, which is kadto sa part ni Aladdin og ni Florida. Di ba kay si Aladdin kay Islamic man siya, tapos si Florida kay Catholic. So ang sige buhat ni Aladdin, nagpakuan siya, baptize siya into Catholic faith para lang sa iyahang loved one. And then also para magkuan sila, magpuyo sila nga puno sa harmony and peace. So the theme of the story. So the theme of the story is that Florante at Lara is filled with passages on living the upright life and respecting elders and the values of love for country, industry, and patriotism. So one of its central themes is that religious differences should not be used to discriminate against another. So ang theme ani nga story is passages on living the upright life and respecting elders and the values of love for country, industry, and patriotism. So ang isa pud ani nga central nga theme is ang religious differences. So dili kay himuon og kuan sa na reason para lang or kanang boundary gani nga madayon nga discriminate na dayon ang mga kuan nga tinuohan, dili ing ana. Dapat you're going to what? Respect, because respect begets respect. The next we have the cultural implication. So unsay kuan, unsa ang mga nahitabo sa story which is napakaron or nag-exist karon, or unsa ang mga culture didto but nga still karon na naagihapon, or ato lang siyang kana ganing mga example, or ato lang siyang mirrored out. Okay, so let us know. So one of the cultural implication that is happened to the story nga still naa siya karon sa atong generation is that Florante at Lara is a Philippine literary classic, so deemed an integral part of the Filipino experience. So it is a staple in the high school curriculum. Yes, kanya siya nga story is nanagid ni siya during sa atong high school life or high school year. So with the class discussions often leading to more creative pursuits such as dramatizations or the creation of storybooks. Yes, when I was in high school, I still remember those things nga among buhat or activity about Florante at Laura. So grabe, nindot siya. Kanang murag ma-feel bito nimo nga murag ikaw ang nasa story. Pero bahala bisan dili tuod siya ingon nga perfect, but at least makakuan nimo kung unsa ang kuan. Okay, so however, Florante and Laura is more than a love story. Yes, a love story gid siya no. So it is a masterpiece that talks about injustice, bad governance, and revolution. So injustice, di ba naani karon? Like wala, kanang murag wa gihapoy bis kanang deserve siya nga kuanan og justice, but then at the end of the day what will happen? Walay justice nga makuan claim. Bad governance. Oh, na-adjud na siya permanente. Bisan karon na And the revolution. So in fact, it is said that the famous literary work was written by Balagtas while in prison and was published on his release in 1838. So this already hints at how it was motivated by personal experience and awareness of the political situation back when the peace and freedom of the Filipino people were disrupted by the rule of the Spanish government. So, take kuan class ha, kani siya nga story is kuan true story ni siya, which is nahitabo ni siya during the Spanish government. Kanang sana luoy kaayo ang mga kuan Filipino people during that time. Mo to may injustice, bad governance, revolution nanghitabo. Nya kana pud siya karon is still nag-exist gahapon, pero dili na ingon nga paragid sa una. Pero nagihapon. Muna nga luoy kaayo kung ikaw pobre kay kwarta ikalaban. So it cleverly used allegory, satire, and paradox to depict the chaos in the country. So much so that even our national hero, Dr. Jose Rizal, looks up to it as a literary masterpiece. So even si Dr. Jose Rizal, the Florante at Lara is considered niya as one of the literary masterpiece siya kay kuan wala gito true story siya during the Spanish colonization. Kani siya ha, ang example ani is like the family, kung sa ako lang nga side nga insight, the family of the kuan kang Florante ug katong kang Count Adolfo, ato lang kuan nga si Florante Filipino, tapos ang family ni Count Adolfo will be the Spanish. So unsa may kuan, di ba yung napansin nga grabe gamitan yung power og money then para lang nga makuan ang tinuod kung unsa ang mga panghitabo. Pero syempre Filipino di gid pud magpalupig, which is the Florante gipaglaban gid niya. So the story draws parallel to many points in Philippine history. So yes, this story really hits the Philippine history. So with its conclusion, so reminding readers of the various revolutions and people power movements that our country has gone through. So as well as the incarceration of the political prisoners over the years. Oh, grabe, dili gid siya equal kayo. Naon lang nimo ha, pag once ang pobre priso, ang higdaanan salug lang. Pero pag ang kuan kanang unsa na ay political position or naay kaya, hayay kaayo og kuan higdaanan. So that will be nga untan na I wish gid no nga kuan sana equal bitaw ang rights, dili kay kuan porke taas kag posisyon. Lang ha, ako lang na siya nga insight. Pero we have different insights man. So, then, kuan, it depends na lang sa inyo ha. Kung unsa. Sige, so the same is trolling, so as well as the greed and lust for money. So, muto kong giingon no, nga money gyud og power that official had. So, described in Balagtas' story continued to be seen to this day. Still, naagyud, di gyud ikalimod kay makita man. So the same goes for the countrymen's continuous search and battle for justice and peace, which unfortunately remains as challenging as it was in Florante's story. So the kuan labi na sa kanang about sa injustice katong sa family sa katong sa Imlang North Sa im blanco tabato-bato. Oh, wala. Grabe og kanang kuan. Murag instead nga na naman siya proof, but then daghan pa kaig process nya at the end of the day ana wala justice nga makuha. Doy king family. Okay, so with all of this, which the prominent Filipino poet pointed out in as early as the Spanish rule, still proving to be applicable to the modern times. So the lesson and awakening that Florante at Lara hopes to express through its words show why it serves as an honorable legacy to Balagtas, or the Principe ng Makatang Tagalog. So anyway, class, the story of Florante at Laura is originated in Tagalog version, but since our subject is about survey of the Philippine literature in English, so amo nangita mi og kanang English version. But don't worry, class, because we will attach the English version and the Tagalog version of this story for you to come up para ma-scanning nyo or babasa ninyo og utro ang kuan story, since kanang it was already tackled during our our high school life rather. So okay, so that would be our discussion for today. I hope you enjoy our discussion. Then unta na mo na learn bisan og virtual lang ang ato ang klase. So again, thank you for listening. Keep safe and God bless everyone.